Hey everyone, and welcome to our 2023 Kickstart Conference. We are so excited to be launching our first ever two-day conference here at Coaching Minds, and I'm joined by the absolutely wonderful Adele Jacobs. Adele, would you like to say hi to everybody?
Yeah, definitely. I want to welcome everyone to this Kickstart conference. And like you said, it's the first one we're having. And for this year to start it off on such high energy, I just want to welcome everyone and just say, just interact with us and just be there and share your thoughts and feelings with us as well. And welcome.
Yeah, no, 100%, Adele. I agree with that. And if you're watching on the replay as well, please drop your comments in, ask your questions, get engaged with the content that we're sharing through these 2 days. And if you're tuned in right now, please say hi, let us know you're here, drop your comments in the comments box. And before we get started, I just want to hit a bit of a celebration for this first launch. So a bit of confetti there. Adele, you know I like my bit of dramatized pieces in our presentations. So let's see who we've got tuned in. We've got Charmaine tuned in. It's wonderful to see you here, Charmaine. Thank you so much. Donna, it's great to see you. Happy New Year, everybody. If I haven't spoke to you, if Adele hasn't spoke to you yet, Happy New Year from Coaching Minds. We're looking great. Thank you so much, Charmaine. That's really great. We've got our Coaching Minds hoodies on, so we're matching today, myself and Adele. Jane, it's great to see you here. Charmaine, yes, it is on Facebook. You will find it in our Wisdom Creator group and our Facebook page. So go and check that out. So it is our Facebook page is probably the best place to go and find it, the easiest. And Charmaine is doing lots of confetti as well. So if you want to join in with a confetti party, I'm going to hit it again, and you can add the confetti emoji. So welcome to our Kickstart conference. Now, to get us started, Adele, just for a bit of a conversation around making 2023 a successful year. Now, imagine that we had to take, and this question's for everybody, but myself and Adele will have a bit of a discussion on it too. Imagine if you were to take a backpack this year and you would put together a bag with all the essentials of success. What needs to be in it? What would you put in your 2023 success kit? Let us know in the comments box below. Adele, what would you say needs to be in that essential kit?
Paul, for me, the first instance, what I will put in is my goals that I want to achieve. With its goals, with its intentions, for me, they run hand in hand. And with that, you need to put a plan in place. If you don't have that plan, that you are going to plan it through the year, you need to get that together, because it gives you that structure that you need to go through the year. And also put it in your calendar. Every month, put some goals that you want to achieve, and also track your progress. So that for me is vital to go in along with vision and habits. I'm going to throw it back to you so you can add what we can put into that bag.
No, I like what you shared there, Del. I really think, having goals and intentions, they do come hand in hand, but it's important to understand the difference between the two, and how, with intentions, we're moving from that kind of wishful thinking to willful direction, and we're really setting ourselves a commitment for the year. So definitely needed goals, milestones, ways in which we can get there and achieve what we want to achieve. Definitely important. I agree with that. For me, vision. You mentioned vision. That's a really important one. If we don't have a vision and we can't picture where we want to see ourselves this year, we're going to struggle. So we need to really put in that work to try and visualize what we want to see this year. Is there anything else that people would add in to this success kit? What do we need this year in order for us to succeed? No matter what our goal is, if we're just looking to get fitter, healthier, if we're looking to set up a business, if we're looking to write a book, no matter how big or small our goal is or what we desire this year, what do we need in the success kit to succeed? So Donna has put sense of humor, intentions, gratitude, grace, and patience. Now I see you smiling there, Adele, at that sense of humor. I think
Yeah.
that's definitely, from my perspective, that's definitely important. Is there anything you'd like to add to Donna's comment there?
Um, I also like that she mentioned the intentions. But there's nothing that I can add. Definitely, sense of humor for me is important, because you are going to have down days. You are going to have days that you struggle, and to go and add your mindset to that, you need to understand that your mindset also is important. So to take the positive out of any negative, you need to put that in. And sense of humor, to be able to laugh at yourself or a situation, is also very important. For me, humor is as everyone that knows me well will know, I try to, even if it's a difficult situation, I try to make the fun out of it and make it funny. And that for me is important, and that adds to your mindset. Mindset for me is also very important.
No, definitely, I agree with that mindset. And Donna's put in grit there as well. We've got so Coach Joy Shaloi, I think, is tuned in on her YouTube channel, which is excellent. She's putting intentions, write down my goal, be persistent, learn from others, and keep challenging myself. Some really amazing things there. Taking action, definitely we need to take action. And we have Charmaine has mentioned what's in my bag of success: healthy practices, good health, happiness, baby steps of accomplishing our goals, patience, trust, believe in yourself, determination, focus, purpose, strength, wealth, and space for growth. That's a big bag, Charmaine, but it's absolutely wonderful. All them things are needed for us to succeed through the year. And Lakshmi has put a really important point, and that is consistency. And that I think is one of the biggest keys in the bag. For me, consistency is huge, because if we're not consistent, we're not going to get that momentum, and we're not going to build what we want to build or achieve what we want to achieve. We're going to constantly fall back. So we need that consistency to succeed. The other thing is affirmations. And I know we talk about a lot of affirmations when we're starting to look at kind of self-love, self-care. I'm not talking about that. It's we need to have the discipline in order when times get tough, because life happens, shit happens, something's going to happen that's going to really set us back this year. What affirmations can we have in place? What strengths can we have and resistance can we have in place to overcome them? So having something that, you know, when you're feeling like you cannot be bothered to do it, when you're feeling like you're struggling, something that's going to pull you out those times. And there's no point waiting until that happens. We can prepare for it now. And that leads me on to the third thing that I think is really important as well, Adele. I know you want to jump in. I can see you ready to respond. Is a plan and a strategy. If you have a plan and a strategy, and there's a difference between the two. Plan, you can be quite, you know, structured and rigid, but strategy is how do you prepare if things were going to go wrong? How do you look at different options if you're to hit obstacles en route? So Adele, I'm going to let you chip in there. I've seen you.
Yeah. What I basically wanted to add, what is also important is that support. What backup support have you got? Do you have a close circle? Do you have a community? Do you have someone that you can go to if you just need that little bit of guidance? So support for me is also important, to put that into your bag. That's basically just what I wanted to add.
Yeah, no, definitely. That support is definitely needed as well. And that can help with the consistency, it can help with your plan, it can help with your strategy, it can help with your goals, your intentions. Because for me, strategy is really important. And I know it's a word that's used a lot, but if we actually just strip it down to what it means, it just makes sure that we're working a lot smarter. So when we set goals, we're setting goals that we know we can achieve. When we're setting ourselves off on a plan and a mission, we know like structured steps on how to get there. We're giving that thought. There's some things sometimes we can, if you look at the scale, you can have people at one end and the other end. You can have people who really struggle to take action, who think a lot, who have all these ideas, but they're just not stepping forward. Maybe they're stuck in the comfort zone. They haven't built the confidence and the self-esteem to step forward. So you've got people at that end, but you also on the other end of the scale before they take that action, to ensure what the results are, what the consequences of that action is going to happen. So just thinking about, when I talk about strategy, it's just about thinking about what steps you're going to take and the consequences those steps are going to lead to. So Charmaine is saying discipline, optimism, definitely 100%. We need to have that optimism as well. Yes, you have to have system in place to support your action steps, definitely. So everybody's agreeing with the support. Absolutely, support is very important. That's wonderful. And that's leading us nicely on to our conference, because we have some amazing coaches stepping forward with some sessions over the next 2 days. We've got 8 sessions over the next 2 days, and some of our coaches are stepping forward and sharing how they can support you throughout this year and giving you some tips and guidance on starting to build yourself up for your success and for confidence in this 2023. I'm going to pull up this last question, this last comment where I asked the next question. So like from our previous learnings, to try different techniques and strategies to thrive and finish our goals. Definitely, we need to learn from our past mistakes. We've got to try new things when we get stuck. And all in all, we must not give up. You know, we're only ever defeated when we admit defeat. So just continue, push through, persevere. Someone mentioned persistence earlier on. These are the keys to your success. So the next question before we move on, what do you need to remove from your current bag in order to enable space? So what are you carrying from 2022? What have you not got space in your bag for right now because you've got something that's not helping you be productive, that's not helping you move forward? What do we need to remove? Adele, have you got any ideas of what you need to remove or what we could remove to help us succeed?
Well, I call it loops. You have open loops. It is your unfinished business. If you're, for instance, I'm going to take an easy thing. If you need to renew a motor vehicle license, if you maybe have a task that's unfinished that you wanted to complete, is to close those open loops. Finish off those tasks, those things that you need to do, the nitty-gritty that you need to get rid of, and also your distractions. Go and review and reflect on what is distracting you. What are you spending your time on? If you are spending too much time on YouTube or Instagram Reels, watching funny videos, you need to limit your distractions and you need to identify your distractions and take them out of your bag.
Yeah, no, two really good points there, Del. And I really like what you said about those open loops. One thing that I did in December, just to kind of close those loops, was my books. I had about 4 or 5 open books that I hadn't finished. You know, I like to read multiple books at the same time. So it's like, I'm not going to start a new one because I can get really sucked into I like the feel, I like what it says. I want to jump straight into new books. I've got books on my shelf. You can see some behind me there. So I was closing off them books before I opened a new book this year. The other thing I liked what you said there as well was my mind's gone blank. It's gone blank. What was the second point you said there?
Your
Sorry?
distractions. The
Yeah,
distractions.
100% distractions. And I always encourage people, if you've watched a couple of sessions that I've done before, check your screen time. Go on your phone settings and check how much time you are spending on your phone. That way you can get hours back because you'll realize how much time you're actually distracted by your phone. And if you're on your phone a lot because of business, then try and work out and ask yourself the questions. How much time am I spending on just browsing through social media, wasting time? Or how much time am I actually using my device for productivity and to grow myself as a person? And Donna's made a really good comment here. So she said toxic relationships, 100%, they need to go. Self-talk and anything that does not serve you, grow you, or contribute to the greater community. 100%. I love the way you've worded that, Donna. Really important things to move. What about everybody else? What else do they need to remove from their current bag to enable space?
Paul, if I can just add something in there, is there a habit that you want to get rid of? Is bad habits. Get rid of those bad habits. Start working on it. Prioritize it. And priority, again, is important. See where the priorities lies. And that's basically add to the bag, but it's also going to remove from your bag.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I agree with that. Those bad habits need to go, whatever they may be. You know, it could be something as simple as stop smoking, stop damaging your health in some way, or it could be just bad habits that are causing you to distract yourself as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. And Coach Joyce always said, small talk people and negative talks from other people, 100%. You know, we are the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. There was a quote by Jim Rohn, but it's so true. If we're spending our time around 5 negative people, the most of the time we're spending our time around negative people, it's going to really bring us down and we're going to become negative ourselves. So important to change our circle. And it doesn't necessarily have to be toxic, like Donna mentioned. Toxic people we need to get rid of, but unconstructive relationships, people that, you know, spend less time with people who aren't motivating you and aren't inspiring you, and spend more time with people that inspire you and want you to succeed. Charmaine says, I'm removing everything that makes my bag heavier, people that belong in my past or behaviors that no longer serves me, unhealthy habits, balance, my distractions and procrastinations. Excellent. Lots of great stuff in there again, Charmaine. It sounds like you're emptying one big bag and adding another load of stuff in that bag in there, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your engagement. This is really great. If you're tuning in now, there's a questions on the screen for you. We're just asking, what would you take in 2023 for your success? What do you need in order to succeed and make 2023 your year? And what do you need to remove from 2022 to help with that? So some really good stuff that's been put in there. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Adele, before we move on?
Well, I think that's basically all that I've really, for me, that's important to remove out of your bag, because all those things, if you combine them, it's going to drain your energy and you're going to feel flat, and it is going to demotivate you in a sense. So it's just to have those positive things in your bag and get rid of the negative.
No, definitely. No, thank you so much for that, Adele. Thank you for everybody who has engaged. And Adele, I know this is something we've been working on in Coaching Minds. We've always said that 2022 was the year of cleansing, kind of removing what we don't need. The other thing I just want to add there, and it's something I've fallen guilty of myself in the past, is picking up too much. Understanding that you have lots of ideas, lots of creativity, there's lots of things you want to do, but at times you need to focus your energy in certain things, because if you're spinning too many plates, there's a risk that you drop a couple, which can lead to you dropping more. So when you start to reflect, just think, what is priority now? What do we need to focus on right in this moment? And understanding how to prioritize better so you don't drop any plates moving forward. So
Well, there's
type any
also
loose ends.
sorry.
Yep.
There's also something I want to add, is declutter. It's not only to declutter your mind, but also declutter your space and make the space for you. I've done it recently. I've moved my office to another space, and it's made a world of difference. So it is really going to identify where you need to declutter, whether it's your mind, whether it's your space around you, the environment that you are in. It's also important to do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm going to be covering my talk this week on Sunday. It's going to all be around establishing the right environment and the importance of environment to help us grow. So thank you for chipping that in, Adele. So just some introductions. We want to know, who do we have here in our live session? If you're watching the replay, please let us know you're here. We want to know who's in the Kickstart conference altogether. So if you're tuned in, tell us where your name pops up, but tell us where you're from and what you are looking to achieve this year. What is it that you want to achieve in 2023? Let us know. So our coaches, even if our coaches are tuned in, please drop what you're trying to achieve this year, so we know how Coaching Minds can help you and how our coaches can help you with your goals and whatever it is you're setting out to achieve. Adele, is there anything? So those of you who don't know, myself and Adele, so my name's Paul Smith. We've got Adele Jacobs. We're two directors here at Coaching Minds, and we're just here to open up the conference, get us thinking about what we need for 2023 to make it a successful year, and then just give you an overview of the next 2 days and the sessions that we have to come. Adele, is there anything you'd like to say to the members and the audience that's tuned in?
I just want to say we are going to be here to support you through this year, and beyond, not just here, but beyond. And that we are there. That's what I'm saying. And we all have our own visions and goals and intentions that we want to do this year. And together we will all come out at the end of 2023 successful.
No, excellent. No, thank you so much, Adele. I appreciate that. And is there any, I'm going to bring up some of the comments here. And just why I'm bringing them up, Adele, is there any goals? What goals are you feel free to share them, that you want to achieve this year yourself? I'm just going to go through the comments and give you time to think about that. So Lakshmi is saying taking that step instead of later. Yep, definitely. Donna is saying here that she has 2 buckets. Now, I don't know how the algorithms are going to affect if I was to say the word, but she's got the effort bucket. I wish I could say it because it has a nice catchy rhyme to it. And a focus bucket. Where does it belong? Let it go or take action. That's a really great way, Donna, to organize things in our minds and physically as well. So I really love that approach of the effort bucket and the focus bucket. Absolutely wonderful. Charmaine is saying, yes, I practice decluttering and Marie Kondo's technique. Do you want to share a little bit more about the Marie Kondo's technique, Charmaine? I've never actually heard of that before. Have you, Adele?
No, I haven't either. No.
And Donna saying, tune in from Dubai. This year is for highlighting integrity, professionalism, and joy. Wonderful, Donna. Really wonderful. And you're doing that already. We've seen the work that you're putting in integrity, and through 2022 you've done some really outstanding and inspirational work. Charmaine is saying this year I'm practicing more actions in general. Wonderful. So you're moving into being more of an action taker. Okay, Adele, is there any goals? What are you working on this year yourself?
I'm working on quite a few things. Personally, I'm working on a course that I want to complete, and that is for the betterment of not just myself, but everyone that I can be of service to. And definitely Coaching Minds is just growing Coaching Minds and taking it to the next level. So that's my two main focuses, and that comes with certain priorities that I need to do, and certain intentions that I need to reach, and successes that we need to celebrate together.
No, excellent, no doubt. That's wonderful. I hope you complete your course. You're putting everything that you need from the bag into that. And yeah, there's one question when everybody asks me what's your goals for this year. I'm trying to think. I need to set myself some personal goals, because every time I sit down, my goals are always tied into Coaching Minds. Every goal is, we're going to do this for Coaching Minds. Coaching Minds going to be here. This is where we're going to be. And I actually need to take a step back. I think the only personal goal that I have, two personal goals actually, is three. No, I actually got personal goals. I just don't think of them first. One is the Revolution Mindset program, which ties into Coaching Minds. I'm commit myself to doing lives and workshops every single week. 52 weeks, that is quite a big challenge in itself, to be honest, to do an hour and a half, to schedule the replays, all that sort of stuff. So really set myself up for that. Fitness, I'm really prioritizing my health this year. So I really want to get into my fitness. I'm working out every day. And the other one is I want to finish that book that I started, the Path of the Sage. I want to get that into publishing by the end of this year, and hopefully out by 2024. But again, you hit obstacles, you don't realize what kind of challenges some of this stuff is. So, but yeah, we'd love to hear what you're working on. Let us know. So Lakshmi is saying she wants to be a fully fledged coach. That's wonderful. What do you mean by fully fledged? Is that accredited? Is it having your own business set up and running? What does that look like, Lakshmi? Is it having frequent clients coming in every week, an income coming from the business? What does fully fledged mean? So lots of good stuff coming in, lots of aims and targets, which is fantastic. Okay, so just moving on. So this is going to be a short session. I'm saying it's short. We've gone on for 20 minutes already, but we've got a couple more things just to cover today. So I'm going to hand you over to Adele, who's going to share what we have coming up. But before we jump into that, I just want to ask you, what do you think the purpose of this picture is? So I put this picture on the slide before we move into what's coming over the next 2 days. What do we think the meaning behind this image is? Any ideas? Adele, I'm not going to ask you because I know I shared it with you when we're doing the preparation for this session. So maybe I should have left that. I should have just kind of left it out and asked you and put you on the spot a little bit of what you thought the runway to greater things. So Donna's put the runway to greater things. I love that. Journey towards your destination. Now, these are excellent. So if these really work with you, then keep them in mind. Anybody else? What does this image bring forth for you? So the reason why I put this on is because it ties in nicely with our Kickstart conference. Because essentially, in order for us to take off, we need to create a runway for ourselves. We need to put in that work. We need to treat January as our runway where we put in our planning, we put in our reflections, we start to put in place our good habits, and we start to run with it until eventually we start to take off throughout the year. So just like an airplane needs that runway, we need that runway space ourselves before we can eventually take off and fly. So we need to understand that before we can lift off the ground, there's a lot of work that we need to do beforehand. And if we do it right, eventually we will get to the point where we're taking flight and achieving the goals throughout the year. And what we want our Kickstart conference to be is the start of that runway, and you can build that out through our coaches sessions over the next 2 days and take your January to a point where you can start to fly next month with your goals and dreams. So Adele, what do we have coming up over the next couple of days?
We've got quite a few interesting sessions that I've looked at the topics. And all your sessions you can find in the events under the Kickstart conference in the hub, and it will give you your local times. We're starting off today with Set Your Pace with Vijaya. Then we have How to Build and Measure Your Confidence with Coach Joyce Aloy. And then lastly, we've got Making Your Soul Dance with Brenda Lees. And then tomorrow we've got 4 sessions, which is how being in review of your days can help this 2023 with Coach Matt Murima. Then the meaning of communication is the response you get with Jane. And then your environment, the key for growth with Paul. And then we've got cultural software at Coaching Minds, which is going to be explained a lot for us. So that's a jam-packed 2 days, and I think we all will find so much benefit from it.
Yeah, no, there's going to be so much learning here. And if our coaches are tuned in, please let us know. Tell everybody here a little bit more about what you're going to be covering in your session so they get a flavor for what they're going to be tuned into later today. And the other thing I want to mention is there's going to be replays for every single session. So if you can't make the scheduled times, which are available in our events section of our hub, then the replays will be available. And this Kickstart conference will be accessible for the whole of 2023. So if you're joining Coaching Minds at a later date and you want to come back and you want to learn from our coaches, the replays and the space is going to be there through the whole of 2023 in our hub. So please check it out. Is there any of our coaches tuning in who would like to? I can see we've got Coach Joyce Aloy tuned in. So let us know a little bit more about what you're covering, Coach Joyce Aloy, so we can tell the audience what they're getting involved with. Lakshmi saying certification, coaching and helping clients, generating money, representing CM with pride and professionalism. Now that's wonderful, Lakshmi. And I'm really looking forward, and we're here to support you on that journey towards your certification and getting that business up and fully fledged. So thank you so much for sharing that. So just while we're waiting, I don't know if our coaches are sharing what it is they're looking to really their purpose and the value they're going to be offering later in their session. But I just want to share a little bit about mine while we're here, Della, if that's okay. So I'm going to be covering the importance of our environment. And we're not just going to be looking at the physical environment. We're going to be looking at 3 different types of environments that we have as an individual. I'm going to talk about the importance of environment, where it plays a part in our journey, and how we can start to reshape our environments to really help us take off. We've got Jane tuned in, which is absolutely wonderful. And she's saying that, have you ever wondered why conflicts and misunderstandings happen? Join me tomorrow as I take you through the meaning of communication is the response you get. Jane, it's going to be wonderful. I'm really looking forward to that session. I'm looking forward to all of our sessions. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But thank you so much for sharing that, Jane. It's going to be a really wonderful session tomorrow with you. So that's going to be my session, all on environment. I'm going to be sharing you how a personal journey of how I struggled with my environment and what I did to get myself into a better place and to get Coaching Minds off the ground and really put in some hard work, big changes that I made. And then at the end of the conference, we're going to close down with cultural software, which Adele mentioned. Now, the 2 words that people might kind of sit back and be a bit reluctant to engage with. But essentially what I want to do is share with you a bit more information about why we've structured our hub, the way we've structured it, and the benefits that our members can get by being part of our free community, and how we're going to engage with you on a more cultural level than a social level. Because what we really want, in a nutshell, is our Facebook groups and everything we get involved with the social media. It's just quick motivation. We see a nice quote, it makes us feel good for a second, fantastic. Doesn't mean we're going to take action. And that's what you get from a social experience. It's social, it's not cultural. And what we want our members to do is to go in, to build a habit of coming into our hub every single day so they can get meaningful learning. When you're reading an article and you're reading the discussions that are coming through, you're thinking about it and you're responding with a bit of deep meaning. You're getting involved in we've got our MBTI discovery course that we just launched this week. You're taking a course, you're taking something that's going to educate you and learn you and help you grow. And you're not going to get distracted in there by what people are having for breakfast, where they've gone on holiday recently, where they're tuned in from the world. It's literally going to be educational and learning. And we've taken our restrictions to the next level with this platform as well. So any post in there, it's not just about positivity. You've got to be given education. You've got to be given learning. You've got to be given reflective thought or information that's going to help people really change and consider themselves in a deeper way. And that's the purpose of the cultural software, is to make that shift from social to cultural. So Coach Joshua is saying, join Data Glow Coaches. I take you through simple tips on how you can build and measure your confidence in 2023. So if you're looking to build and measure your confidence, then the session today, which is at 3 p.m. for Coach Joyce Saloy, you can check that out. Jane is tomorrow. You got Coach Joyce Saloy later today, 3 p.m. UK. So don't miss that if you're looking to build confidence. And with all that being said, if you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments box below. Just to close today's session, we want to leave you with 3 reflective questions. So one thing I've learned on my personal journey, Adele, I don't know if you will agree as well, is reflection is one of the most important points of growth. If we don't take that step back to reflect on what we've done and what we want to do, kind of validating the past and keeping an eye on the future and being present in the moment that we're reflecting, then we're really going to struggle to move forward. So reflection is key. So you'll see when you engage with Coaching Minds, especially if you engage with myself, I ask a lot of reflective questions. So I want you to think about these 3 things to kickstart our conference. First of all, what is your number 1 priority this year? So you might have lots of things you want to get involved in, lots of goals that you have. What is your number 1 priority? So, for example, Lakshmi, you shared that you want a fully fledged business, but what is your number 1 priority this year? Is it to get your certification? Is it to get your accreditation? Is it to get clients? What is the priority that, the one thing that you're not going to miss achieving this year? What is it? Secondly, what do you anticipate to be your biggest challenge? And I use that word anticipate there because sometimes we don't know what our biggest challenge is going to be. We don't know what we're going to be hit with and faced with in the year. But with regards to our goals, we can start to think about what our biggest challenge will be, what obstacles are going to get in our way of succeeding, and how are we going to manage them as well. And then finally, the third question that I'd like you to reflect on is, what help and support do you need? Who do you need? What resources do you need in order to achieve that number 1 priority? So essentially, we're asking you to really strip it down to your key thing that you're not going to let slip this year, and how you're going to overcome any challenges and what you're going to need for support. Adele, is there anything you'd like to add to those 3 questions? Any thoughts coming to your mind?
No, Paul, I think you've got the gist there. I've actually stumbled across a tracker app this morning. Not an app. It's actually a reflective journal, an annual review that you need to do towards the end of the year. And it's quite important for me because I never thought about that before, is how do you review yourself for the previous year in order to prepare for the next year? So there's just something important that came up for me this morning that I actually honestly haven't thought about before. Have you done that reflection on that whole year? And how did you do it? Did you do it mentally? Did you write it down? Did you actually use something that has got the right structure for you to do that review? So, but I love these 3 questions because it's really going to set you up for 2023.
Yeah, and it's simplifying things as well. I love that review, that annual review. It's so important, and it's setting ourselves up for success. And these three questions, they really simplify everything, because we can overcomplicate goals. We can overcomplicate, how do I write my vision statement? And we can overthink it. Is it right? Is people going to kind of relate to this? Have I got a clear picture of it? And it's important to get that, but sometimes we just need to simplify it to 3 simple things that we're not going to let slip this year, and then build on it from there. And one tip that I would like to share with everybody, one thing that keeps me so organized and I can't live without, is, I mentioned it before, a legend planner or a law of attraction planner, because it has that reflection built in. So what you do when you first get it is you spend half a day and you go through your goals through the year, your vision statement, your mission statement. You start to plan your first 3 months, you plan your month, and then it has day by day planning, and it gives you instructions on how to use it. But I use these every year, and it constantly gets me reflecting just on my week. So I have a list of things I have to do every day. I have my schedules. I put my meetings in there, all written down. I do it every night. And then at the end of the week, I reflect and say, right, what have I achieved this week? What didn't go so well? What do I need to do better next week? And having that constant practice really helps me become more productive and get a hell of a lot more done. So really good stuff. Come through here, showing, say, loving the reflection questions. I know my number 1 priority, my biggest challenge. That's wonderful. If you know it, that's fantastic. Michelle, great to see you here. Rahul, great to see you here. The replay is available in our hub if you're tuning in late. We've covered some things to think about in terms of what our success is going to look like for 2023, what we need, and then there's some reflective questions there for you guys to consider. But on that note, we are bringing this session to a close. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and it is time for any questions that you have for myself or Adele about the conference, about what you're working on, or anything that you need from Coaching Minds. Now is the time. You have 5 minutes. Adele, is there anything you'd like to share with everybody before we close the session?
For me, it is just to enjoy your 2023. Not to just be so focused on your goals that you forget the enjoyment. It is that's important, because if you're not going to be enjoying and happiness, you are going to struggle to achieve what you want to achieve. So for me, it's important, and then just celebrate those small successes along the way, because celebration really, really also helps. And then make sure that you do have the support. We are here if you want to reach out to us if you do need support.
No, I love that, Adele, and that joy is so important. You know, success is not a destination; it's a process, and it's a journey. And it's important that we enjoy that journey, we enjoy that process. And you know, if we want you to have fun, and if you're struggling to find the joy in what you're doing, then talk to us. Talk to one of our coaches. We're here to help you. You know, passion is one of the biggest fuels that we can have towards our goals and our dreams. And if we don't have passion, we're going to struggle. You know, you can work so much better, be so much more productive from passion than you are from stress. And I know we did the stress management workshop, but for me, the biggest thing is not to manage stress, but to remove stress and replace it with passion. And your life transforms magnificently. It's absolutely fantastic.
So, Paul, you actually mentioned, you mentioned the journey there. It's like you mentioned with the plane taking off. Take off for January and then enjoy the flight, enjoy that journey, and visualize yourself landing with all of the successes at the end of 2023.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Adele. And Michelle's saying we'll catch the rerun. Happy 2023. Be empowered to live your best year ever. Much love always. And much love to you, Michelle. Thank you so much for tuning in and for such a beautiful message. We've got lots of thank yous coming through from Charmaine, from Donna, from Jane, from Coach Joyce Saloy. Absolutely fantastic. And Jane, Coach Joyce Saloy, and our other coaches who aren't tuned in right now, we're really looking forward to your sessions later on today and tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Adele, thank you so much for being with me here today, for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and your thoughts as we go into 2023. And I just want to leave everybody with this thought. Let's make 2023 the best year ever. And if you are struggling, reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to be with you every step of the way. If you're having a challenge, if you're faced with an adversity, then just reach out. We're here to support you. We want this year to be the best year for everybody here in Coaching Minds, and we're going to hold you accountable, and we're going to be there to help you with it. So drop a heart if you're going to make 2023 the best year of your life or over the past few years. Let's do this. You in, Adele?
Yeah, definitely.
Should we do one more confetti celebration?
Definitely. We have to end it on a high note.
There you go. Look at that. Look, so this is something I accidentally discovered, and as Adele's seen, I'm a bit obsessed with doing this whenever I present now, is just hitting the confetti button. If you want to know how, drop me a message, I'll tell you how, and you can enjoy it in your presentations too. But I want to wish you a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your conference, guys. We've got Vijaya stepping up in just over 2 hours. It's going to be wonderful to jump in, and we'll see you in each of the sessions. Have a wonderful 2 days and a wonderful week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you all.